Now Sinclair, can Sinclair get through? Can Sinclair make it 5? Sinclair can make it 5. Gets her goal in the end. She's been threatening throughout the game. Calder quickly get around her.
In the line, she does win the ball there. She then with a one-on-one with Burke, takes a shot, ball squished to play, and a brilliant finish tucked away from Melissa Taranto, it seems. Sinclair, my apologies. And Harriet Withers with some brilliant drifting run down the left-hand side, and she tucked it home. Alexandra Sinclair, brilliant defensive. And a brilliant ball play by Taranto. Ball placed out. Finds Sinclair looking for the ball over the top. Shot taken. And it goes in. What a brilliant strike from Alexandra Sinclair. She saw the keeper off her line and she struck it so well. And I believe she's earned her hat-trick this afternoon. Some more outstanding play from Calder United to score 3 in the second half. And they are the benefactor of some wonderful possession-based football.
It's a diagonal ball looking for Withers. Withers, I think, is going to get there. Takes a touch. And then a cut back to Sinclair. And it's a goal here! Withers with the cutback and Sinclair with the slot in the bottom left corner. Some good work here.
That was no mistake. She had the opportunity again, second time around, and Aleks Sinclair did not disappoint.
Barbieri with the cross in, looking for Withers. Here's Sinclair. Sinclair, a chance! Oh my word! Sinclair puts it in again. Oh wow! It's going to be 2. She's really taking this Heidelberg team by storm. Alexandra Sinclair able to get that ball down and put it in the back of the net.
Zimmerman just applying that pressure. As Withers now with a chance. She's got hold of it. She brings it to ground. She got some space. Oh, this time around the keeper. Move that ball so forward, creating a big blockage. And there you have it. Aleks Sinclair, no mistake whatsoever, scores Calder United's second goal. Withers did well to apply that pressure. Couldn't get that ball in from the keeper. Got the deflect, and Sinclair lurking there on her own and went bam. That's going to be my goal for today. And there you have it. Calder United 2, Box Hill 0. Well, Calder, if they need be, to up their points, and Box Hill looking for some chances for a goal as Aleks Sinclair uses her head, almost just swifts it from her body. That's a fantastic goal from Alex from the cut back. Let's see with the replay. It's just incredible to see that ball come in and no defender inside, and goalkeeper on her own had to stretch but didn't have the momentum. But Aleks Sinclair just swifts it with her body. Incredible. Calder now with a 3-goal lead.
Mel Taranto. And it is dispatched with cool ease by Aleks Sinclair. Gabby Garton guessing the right way, but when it is placed as well as that, it's going to be a very rare keeper that is able to keep it out. Into the middle, Sinclair goes down and wins a penalty for her slide. Does Aleks Sinclair, the wayward boot of Muldeary, just clipping the veteran. So Sinclair, 2-0. 2 Calder United. Sophia Varley guessed the right way, but unable to get there and get a hand on the very well-placed penalty from the Calder veteran. The home side down 2-0 here in the first half.
Welcome everyone. Welcome to tonight's special guest in our obviously new podcast after the final whistle. And Han, I'll let you introduce this superstar that's joined us tonight.
Ooh. Thanks for the honor. Our very first guest that we have on this show today started playing football when she was just 10 years old after watching her brother play. Someone that she looks up to a lot, copying his moves. As at the time wasn't many girls team, so she was enlisted to play for the boys team, which I guess is very common to a lot of us here. And then obviously when you got a bit older, around 14, probably wasn't the best ideal time to play for the boys. So unfortunate for our guest, she had to, I guess, leave. look for something else, I guess. But that didn't stop our lovely guest, which we'll announce, Aleks Sinclair, the one and only. At the time, our 14 was scouted for the Victorian Centre of Excellence. That obviously led her to numerous years in the state Victorian squads. And from there, she was selected for the NTC squad, which is now known as FV Emerging. So it does show her age a little, I guess. Needing to also be part of the club at the time, Aleks played for Brimback Stallion Senior Women's Team. Pretty good effort, saying the word senior at only 14 years of age. Now, her talent had also been noticed, and the following year, she was scouted by Box Hill Inter coach and had an incredible 5 years with Box Hill, winning 4 out of 5 championship cups. After a small role with the Victorian squad, she went back to play for Box Hill in 2010. Due to personal circumstances, Aleks took a step back from the elite level football, and after coaching and playing in the lower tier leagues in the mid-season of 2017, Aleks decided to make a comeback into playing at the top level and got the opportunity to join Calder United, as she hasn't looked back. Now, despite missing out on the championship with Calder in 2018, that didn't stop her from being aware of the other players. And at that year, she won the Players' Player on the gold medal night. Now, moving on to the most recent full season, which was 2019. This was Calder's year. And boy, did they win it all. Calder was unstoppable, winning the Community Shield, the Nike Cup Championship, the Premiership, and also the championship on grand final day. Once again, second year in a row, she was awarded Players' Player of the Year. And on the grand final day, she also was awarded Player of the Match. Wow, that's a lot of awards for one player. Being a very tough match for Aleks on that day, it was a bittersweet moment, but couldn't ask for a better 2019. And now, Aleks Sinclair, welcome to the show. Great to have you.
Thanks, guys, for having me. That's one of the biggest introductions I've ever had in life.
Have we missed anything? We want to make sure we've got it all.
Did your background research. Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on the show. It's a privilege to be with you guys, and I'm really looking forward to what you guys do with this channel, particularly around the Women's League as well. So.
Well, we'll kick things off. We know how busy you are, Han. Throw it over you to the first question. Fire away.
Aleks, we've kind of said our thoughts about the season. You probably saw in a few videos that we've posted up. We would like to know what your thoughts and your performance on this season.
Yeah, I think the first thought that comes to mind is it's just unfortunate that it had to end so soon. I think we got through half. I'm having a guess. We just made it through the half point of the season with a few interruptions. I think it was very challenging in those times where we had to stop, start. But before that, if you're looking at the whole league, it was an even playing field. I think it's one of the closest starts to the competitions we've had in a while. And some impressive performances by teams you would least expect to. So, I think it was, we look at the ladder now, it finished off pretty close. There was only a couple of points between the top 4 teams. So, I would say it was definitely an even playing field this year, and performances from all the teams were pretty great.
What's your daily routine, basically, when you're getting ready for a match? Is there something that you particularly like to do, or you just got any superstitions?
Yeah, I mean, music's always involved somehow. That could be in the car to the game or in the locker room. There's definitely got to be music. The team loves music. For me, I play a little bit of acoustic guitar. So when I wake up in the morning, I like to play a bit of just some soft melodies and a little bit of soft tunes. It's almost like a musical meditation for me. I really suck at meditation itself. I can't switch going a million miles an hour sometimes, but I'll always try, and yeah, the guitar is kind of like a little bit of a zone out for me. And from that, I get the phone and I message the team, a bit of a pump up message and a motivational text to them, just what's ahead, what's to come, and do your best. And then yeah, then we're at the game, and I've got this weird thing I do with my shoelaces in the locker room. I think the favorite person that enjoys it is Jack, our photographer, because he just likes getting a shot of it all the time. But I do this weird thing where I have to tie my shoelaces a certain way, and then I tuck them in, just so it's a nice little bed for the ball to land on. It's my moment to just, think about, visualize the game, and still hear what's going on. But in that moment, I'm tying my shoelaces. I'm just visualizing everything. So
That's amazing. We never noticed that, but you probably, if you zoom in onto your boots, you probably do see it a certain way. So it's probably the Aleks Sinclair signature shoelace tying.
yeah, bow tie or something like that. I don't know.
Should get your own brand of shoelaces. How awesome would that be?
What's that? Sorry.
Get your own branded shoelaces.
Oh yeah, we'll think about it. Right, hit me up. Hit me up with.
We'll start a side hustle of Aleks Sinclair shoelaces.
That's good.
Kind of similar to that. During the season, how do you manage kind of on-field and off-field responsibilities? Being very busy, playing as you would outdoor, and then sometimes you're also playing for futsal as well, as Aleks mentioned. How do you kind of balance that out?
Yeah, it's actually a bit of a touchy subject, because most of the coaches that I've worked with try and separate the two, which I never thought why, but it's just because it takes a lot out of you. So in the off season, it's pretty much futsal, and then in season, I try to stay away from futsal and focus completely on the outdoor competition, because I just want to be the best I can with that. Futsal is a bit like a bit of fun, a little bit extra, just for that off season. Gets you fit, as you guys know. He's around it all the time, but yeah, being introduced to that, I haven't looked back from that, because that was so much fun, and I just enjoy it so much in the off season. So yeah, during season outdoor, I'm all for that. I'm fully concentrating on that. Yeah.
Describe one of your major highlights in your playing career. What's one particular moment that really sticks out for you?
I would have to say, in recent times, it's got to be the 2019 season. That whole year was just unbelievable. I mean, we started with winning the Community Shields. We then went on to win the Night Cup final, which was an amazing day. Like, can take my hat off to them for what they did for us that day. They just put on a show. Yeah, then to win the premiership and then the championship. And like Khan said earlier, on top of that, being awarded with the Players Player Award, it's just I've never achieved anything like that in 1 year, and to do with soccer, and that was wonderful for me. That was just, it was nice to know more than anything that you respected and looked up to by your peers in some sort of way. And yeah, I was just really blessed with that year.
Yeah, awesome. And in saying that, how would your coaches and teammates describe you?
My coach Mark, he likes to. I've done an interview with him before, and he's described me as a spiritual leader. I don't know if that's trying to say you're an old soul, but he's a old bit. But his way of describing me is a spiritual leader, and I think more so because I like to do everything with heart, play with heart and lead with heart. And if I was to ask the girls, they would probably call me the mother hen or mum. That gets dropped a lot. Maybe I care a little too much. But for me, I just always want to make sure they're doing well and striving for their best. And I just, if ever they're feeling down and out, I just want to make sure that they know it's okay to talk to you and reach out. And yeah, I just want them to do the best they can.
I'm sure your teammates will definitely have the same thoughts. Give us your thoughts on how do you motivate your team after a loss? Is there anything you guys particularly do in the discussions or differently after a loss?
Yeah, so I think it kind of stems from us. With me myself, I usually message the group after a team and just have a bit of analysis and motivation leading into the next week. So it's more of a like, it happened, let's move on, learn from it, and then build on it. Leading into that next week, it's all about analysing the week prior, and then moving forward to building on the things we need to work on and improve, individually and as a whole. But yeah, usually like if someone's feeling down or things like that, I'll make sure I'm always there to message them and talk to them, just what they could have done better. Don't be too hard on yourself. You're here for a reason, like it's, these things, they're very young. It's a very young group. So just these times of resilience, they need to, kind of embrace them, because it's what's going to get them in that next step or stage of their careers. If they want to take it to the next level, you've got to be pretty tough-minded and mentally strong.
Wow, that's well-deserved advice from the one and only Aleks. Now, what was the best advice you were given as a football player?
Best advice I was ever given. I think it's more so what I learned. I think for me, it's just to accept success with like humility, and just experience with defeat with dignity. You can never, you just never know what's going to happen. You can never change who you are for the amount of success you get, or the amount of bad stuff you go through. So I think just always making sure you're being that same person on and off the pitch.
Some great advice there. How's the link up with Western United been for Calder United? How's that improved Calder United as such? Give us an insight as to how, from your point of view, how that's going.
Yeah, like the announcement of the W League license, it doesn't just like solidify the work that has gone into this project or this partnership, but it paves a pathway now for the upcoming generations. People that thought that they would never have an opportunity, particularly from the West or just in general. It's a pathway for women's football, and an extra pathway now, and it's gonna change so much more lives and give more opportunities to females, and I think the partnership with them it couldn't have gotten any better. The collaboration has worked so well so far. They're so inclusive of the girls players and what we do with the men's. Like we're playing curtain raising games to A-League games. Like it's, when do you get that just playing in a club level, So it's just a new chapter, and it's an exciting one, and it's a huge achievement, and I can't wait to see where it goes. Whether I end up playing in that league or not, I just can't wait to see what can happen for these girls.
And we'll be there supporting 100%.
Absolutely.
Get me a jersey.
I'm sure we'll see you there playing. You're still very young, but I'm sure we'll definitely see you. Just a couple more questions and we'll obviously wrap it up.
We move on to some questions that were brought in on Instagram.
Great idea.
We had one. Not sure if you are familiar with this player. Steph Galea, #1 fan, asked for your autograph. I know it's a bit difficult with COVID, but I'm sure we can work that out. Steph, if you're watching, we'll hook you up with Aleks and a signed autograph for you.
We've got a selfie together, me and Steph. Steph is, I know her well. She is one awesome human being. You know, she's someone who supported me in the game, out of the game. Like, yeah, she's a good girl, and I've got a lot of time for her, and reaches out when she needs advice. You know, always there in the background supporting you even when you're least expecting it. And yeah, she's a really quality human.
And
I'll get that autograph. No worries.
I'm sure she's waiting for that one. And what are you looking forward to most in 2022?
Playing again. It's got to be the whole team aspect of it, club, the vibe, just getting back into that routine of training 3-4 times a week, game day rituals, game day routine, getting back on the field with your team and just having a ripper of a season, hopefully without any interruptions. But yeah, obviously with the whole new license and partnership, that's going to lead to more opportunity next year too. So I'm looking forward to just having a good year with the club and the women's league.
Well, I'm sure we're all looking forward to that one. And we can't thank you enough, Alex, for your time. We know you're busy. Got quite a number of interviews. Han and I really appreciate your time. And thank you so much for coming on and supporting us, especially starting out new. So we can't thank you enough for that.
Thanks,
you so much.
I really appreciate it. And I've got a message for you, Han. Jack, our photographer at Calder, says hi and that he's a massive fan of what you guys are doing. So there's a little shout out to Jack.
Love Jack, love the photography. It's just something very special to hear that from Jack. So if you're watching, thank you so much. And Alex, let's twist the tables. Do you have any questions for us?
Oh, I just like I said, I love the whole point of your channel. I guess my question is to you: where you guys would love to take this? What's your endeavour with it? And are you guys coming back to commentate next year? Because
commentate, 100% yes. Han and I have done futsal and football together, so we actually miss it. We're just hoping to get the players' voices. I think, you know, especially in the next 2 years with opportunities for women's football, especially for the World Cup, as you said, you announced as well, with 3 new teams coming on board in a W League. There is a huge opportunity for women's football to be #1 sport in Australia. And I really genuinely think so, because that World Cup is going to be huge to an audience of over 1 billion people. And we just want to bring the local game to everyone. Obviously, we want to start off in Victoria because that's where we're from. But yeah, we just want to give players an opportunity to come on and have a chat that most people probably don't know about, and be like, wow, our daughters or, sisters or family can, have a place to go and actually play. And just really highlight the sport that, the women can compete. You've seen in the Olympics, did a fantastic job. Lucky, not to, in my eyes, I thought they could have gone first, but a bit unlucky there. But this is a great opportunity. And I think, if we can get the support from players, that's the hardest part, is getting players on, I think, at the moment, trying to give them something to watch and entertain themselves. And if we can get more people on, it just makes it, for us, it's, it takes a lot of time out of our editing, getting friends to help and things like that. That's why we're looking for sponsors. But that's from us. And Han, you can add to that as well.
Yeah, it was an excuse to hang out with my friends. That's all. Just for us to take it, on ground. I want to look forward to being on there on game day and seeing the players either before or after games and just seeing insights. There is a bit of that, but we kind of want to bring that to almost the next level, which is a bit more interactive and exposing a lot of players, especially the young players. They do find this kind of exposure to them can lead up to, a package that they can look back on if they do make it, to a higher level. And you go, look at me back in the day. Like, I was there playing for MPRW or whatnot. So for me, it's just more just seeing people interact with each other and online. So I don't know, it's just nothing out there that was similar to this. Alex and I were discussing, like, it wasn't anything that was recapping on the season or the round. Even though we're kind of new to this league and platform, we kind of wanted to see it from the outside point of view, not be too analytical, but just kind of making it fun and just talking about women's football, really. So it's just building a platform, and we've got Alex as our first guest, so we can't be more than happy with this, and we've got a couple other people lined up, which is pretty cool. But yeah, something small like this hopefully will bring more focus on the women's game.
And I think it's a time where we need things like that to just bring people together and remember why we love doing what we're doing, and just finding that enjoyment even when it feels out of reach. So I take my hat off to you guys, and I really hope this kicks off for you both and you achieve what you're looking for.
Thanks so much. All right, guys. Well, that pretty much wraps up our interview. Again, we can't thank Alex for her time, and we appreciate it. And again, out there, any players want to get in touch with us, please let us know. We're more than happy to organise a time. We'll hope to see you, obviously, next week with a second interview. So hopefully stay safe, and we'll hopefully see you on the pitch in the future. Thanks for watching.